Great. Onegaishimasu.
𝘰𝘠𝑗𝑖masu.
Okay, good. We'll just start a little bit of loosening. Just find shoulder width. Okay, great. Taking it front and back. And working the sides. And working into rotation. Great. Good, going to a little bit open and close. Good, and just mixing in the directions, moving freely. Good. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths in, reaching up, and hinging all the way down. Right, last one, just letting the body release down. Take a couple of deep breaths into low position. Just really set the shoulders, head, face. And nice and slowly folding back up to the standing. Now we're just looking at a bit of rotation work, starting with the head, nice and gently. Looking both ways. Taking to the shoulders. And the elbows. And the wrists. And into the chest. And the hips. And looking the knees for the feet together. Bring the feet out wide. And the ankles. Change in size. Gently working the toes. And the other side. Right, taking the legs out a little bit wider. Them side to side. Just bring the hips a little bit further down, loosening them out here. And taking the legs straight, taking the bend out of the knees. Walking the hands forward, bring the hips back. Just take a couple of nice big deep breaths here. Lift the, bring the shoulders towards the ears. Lengthen through the whole spine. Good, taking weight into the hands, bring the feet together in the back. And just treading up with the feet. And lengthening both feet back, both heels back. And walking the hands to the feet. And take the feet to a forward fold. And gently bending the knees, slowly bring the body back up to standing. Right, I'm just roll up the wrist a little bit. And the other way. Just loosen out the fingers. Gently taking them back one at a time. And the other side. And gently for the thumbs. and to the back of the wrist. Changing. And into a kotegeshi. And change. And taking the fingers forward, a little bit of senkyo. And the other side. And just taking the fingers together, spreading them, pressing the knuckles together, spread them away from each other. And taking a grip palm to palm. Just a few seconds, hold, release it. Great. And then with that, like you create a vacuum in the hands. This is a bit of a strange one. So it looks like you shake the hands like this, but what it is, you connect here and just think about shaking the body. So think about strongly connecting to the ground with the feet, that seal in the hands. And just think about creating a pulse from the core of the body. And if the shoulders are relaxed, if the elbows are relaxed, if the wrists are relaxed, you get that impulse passing to the hands. Just play with kind of creating a big movement first. And you can also add a little bit to the hands as well, but see if you can work towards one where the pulse from the core just naturally passes to the hands. And then just play with a couple. You're going to take a nice deep breath in as you do it. Reach up to the top, bring the hands together as you come down. You can settle the breath, and then just use the out breath with the impulse from the center, just to settle the body in. Just do this in your own time. When you feel the breath go, take a nice deep breath in again. Take it down. Sit down. Give it a try. That's it. Good. That's good. Good. We'll do another one. This is a bit of an active one. This is especially good when you've got like mucus, a lot of mucus on the lungs. So it goes like this. I'll show you and then we'll do a few together. So it goes like, you take a nice, really sharp in breath. Like this. You go like 1, 2, 3 across the chest, and then you do 1, 2, 3, like strongly into the chest. And then as you do the 3, strongly raise up. And then it's like a forceful breath out. So it goes like sharp inhale. Raise up, and then you release out. Raise up. Release out. Just do a few. Okay, and the last one's to like expel all the air in the lungs. So you do the same, do 1, 2, 3, come up, and then at the end of the movement, incline the body and let everything out in the breath. So let it go. So we'll try one together. It goes like in, let it out, slightly incline the body. And when you feel the need to breathe, breathe in. Fill the lungs, shake out the hands. A little bit front and back, a little bit sides. And releasing the arms. And the legs. And glad to the feet, shake out the whole body. And just making the impulse a little bit smaller each time. I just do one very subtle exercise, very similar to this one. Think about, again, a kind of impulse. And really it's just to kind of check on the connections. In this case, just especially focus on the elbows and the knees. So there's a kind of release through the elbow and a release through the knee. So it's just again the same side. Because we're going to feel the arms really heavy. And just take that impulse to the hand, to the foot. Play with one side. And then play with both. And the next one is just hips and shoulders. So just think about a very subtle rotation, keeping the arms again quite loose, very loose, heavy. And just think first about the kind of same side connection. Think about the right hip, right shoulder. Goes one way, goes the other. And then think about a kind of cross connection to the body. So think about left hip, right shoulder, right hip, left shoulder. And then just play with a kind of a little bit of a figure of eight, bringing both, the kind of that impulse goes to the knee and the arm, the elbow. That roll from the hips. And then just play with making it big. Make a big kind of infinity. Figure of eight movement. And then play with making it small. Really in and out to the center, big. Making it small. And then just play a little bit with the hand position. So just play with basically hand up, hand down, palm down, or palm up, palm down. Now just have a feeling. It's in a way very easy to do. Like if you imagine you're in a pool, you're in a swimming pool. Imagine you're kind of drawing the hands through water. This has got a kind of heavy quality to it. And then play with bringing the arms away from the body, keeping that kind of density in the arm as well. So the main thing with this is not to kind of hold the arm away from the body. Think in a way like you're going to pull, like a pulley system. kind of drawing the arm out from sinking the weight, drawing down. And then once you got it, play again with the kind of figure of eight motion to it. And play with different orientations of the hand. Again, you look at the elbow release, the knees release, hips go, shoulders go. So, good. And then play a little bit, again, very subtle shift, but it's now think about kind of pulling in and pressing away from the body. Kind of pulling in, pressing away from the body. You probably notice the hands want to do specific things. If I bring the idea of pulling in, pushing out, the hands kind of mimic certain kind of action. Right? Keep that sense of a kind of spiral winding through the joint system, particularly with the arm, but it's also going in the legs as well. You can think about reaching away, pulling towards the body, pressing away. That's it. Good. Good. Nice. Great. Good. Good. And then we'll just add into that a little bit of koku work. So you've got a kind of specific handshake or a specific kind of gesture in terms of koku work, which is this position. And then really focusing on the kind of the blade edge of the hand and the blade edge of the forearm in this case. So play with, again, these still kind of winding motions. And if you kind of feel that you lose it, go back to a kind of softer hand position. Play with the kind of winding and through the joints. And then add into it a little bit more of an emphasis in the handwork. And that kind of specific gesture. In a way, it really comes from 𝘧𝗪𝘏, which we'll go on to, but think about that kind of cutting gesture, which comes from that feeling of kind of raising, cutting with a weapon. Just play with moving with it. And then play with the idea of kind of drawing into the body, pressing away from the body. It's got a different kind of flavor in terms of, it's not just a pull towards it, it's not just a push out. But again, go to that sense of a kind of slicing, cutting motion. So, good. And then with that, just start to move the feet with it. Think again, if you think about that kind of movement, that kind of feeling in the joint system here, think about the same kind of feeling in the shin bone and the foot. So there's a sense that the hand and the foot really start to kind of work together in terms of cutting motions. Really a sense of the kind of sharpness in the movement. But again, it's kind of coated in a kind of spiral work. And once you get that feel for it, just play with more rotation working it as well. So rotate, coil. You can go low with it. Start to extend up and away. Just explore in this case in that handshake. And if you feel you ever kind of lose that feeling, or especially if you lose the spiral work or the connection work, just soften the hand. Soften it. Go to just joint exploration. And then start to work back in the handwork. That's it. So good. Good. Perfect. Okay, take a bokken. We'll explore. Good. So just go straight into the first suburi, but just nice and light, and just going to drop down the cut in this case. So not the easiest of movements to find spiral work in the body, but think about really, again, the first thing is just connect to the weapon in terms of the grip. Light a grip as you can. Especially think about, if you just go to the elbows and the knees, really functioning together. A kind of core aspect of connection work for the body. Think about really elbows, knees work together. Mix in a little bit also on the left side. Good. And then just take the feeling really hips and shoulders. So this is actually a very good exercise for this. If you think about the kind of trunk in between, the danger of the shoulders that the shoulders start to pull away from the hips, something like this happens. So we're going to this kind of thing happens. So really think about kind of driving the shoulders and the hips together. And especially in the case when the hips start to go, start to rotate and move, the shoulders really start to mobilize with the hip. And it doesn't kind of take over. The hip, just like the shoulder and the hip kind of function together again. Both going to kind of open, close into the cut. And again, just work a little bit left and right. You're going to play with alternating. Especially on the left side, it's a little bit trickier for the shoulders to work with the hips. Just explore it a little bit. So good. Good. Great. And then just start to add in a little bit of focus in the hands and also the feet. So really think about the hands, feet really working together. Key one for us is that when you raise the sword, you really want the feet and the hands to be working together totally. So especially you don't want the hands to go and then the feet to go, or feet to go and then the hands go. So think about really, especially now as you go into the focus, especially from the raise, hands and feet together. Hands and feet together. And again, working left side, right side, mix them in. Great, and take this to Zengo. Zengo is a really good exercise if you think about cross-body training. So think especially in this case, 𝘱𝘭𝘠𝘢𝑛𝑟𝑒𝑐ℎ is really great for training just the connection to one side of the body. Zengo, when you go into this rotation work, think about really one side of the body going to the opposite side. So I want the right side of the body to communicate to the left side. And the same on the way back, I want the left side to communicate to the right side. It's a very small rotation work, but really good one to work cross-body connection. Wow, that's it. Yeah. Good. And then just look at a bigger rotation. So in this case, just work with Shiho, Giri, but work from both sides. So you want to make the rotation. So you've got 1, 2, big rotation. And play with it starting on both sides. So you can also start the form on the left side. Just increasing the rotation that way. Again, just use it really as a way to really explore this cross connections from the body. Okay, now just play with isolating that kind of 3/4 rotation. Make it a bit tricky in this case, you can kind of surprise yourself a little bit with it. So think about being in a little bit of motion, and then you can go either with the right leg over the front, you can go with the left leg over the front, and just play with that again, that kind of just opening up the rotation. But just again, exploring the feet. Sometimes go with the right, sometimes go with the left. Just play with it a little bit. Should feel really free to go either way. Great. Okay, we'll go to number 5. We'll go straight away into stepping with it. Just play with it, going really slow. So it's where the spiral work, especially in the arm work, starts to really be emphasized. So think about just going into one cut with it. So play with it, just come in left and right, and just make one cut in this case. Slowly into it. And especially now the key thing is that the release through the joint system of the arms, kind of allow that spiral work to just start to come out a little bit more now. Left side, slowly, one cut. Ella, see you later. Okay, just play this, which is again slow it down, but now think about the point when you tip into the cut. So if you do this very slow, there's a point where you really commit into the cut this way and kind of fall into it. Just really play with kind of thickening that motion. So this coming in, this, and then drop the weight into it. So it's just exploring. There's a kind of moment. Get that, where the body starts to tip into the cut, and then play with really expressing the weight into the cut. So the problem is we try and kind of pull the body through and then add the power to the cut. But there's a kind of point in this motion where the body tips over, and then that's what you want to express the weight of the cut at that point, not add it after. So that kind of feeling. So it's like if you do this. If you were to do this really well, it's like very slowly into it. And there's just a inevitable point where the weight of it, you commit the weight in and then boom, you go in. The cut just kind of goes. You want to really link the movement into that kind of drop of the weight. Yes. Okay, stupid exercise to feel this. I love stupid exercises. You just go like this. So you're gonna balance the body like this, pull the body out of structure. So you're gonna go like this. Now feel there's a point in this where the body starts to really go. Now, for this exercise, or to get the feeling of this exercise, I don't want to catch the body at all. So what I don't want to do is go in and hold the body off. Well, actually feel that, because this is oftentimes what we're doing when we do movements. I'm restricting my body, and then I kind of try not to try and really experience the feeling of just falling. And I want to feel the body. I want to feel the whole weight of the body just go. Boom. Now, falling is actually a very efficient way of expressing the whole weight of your body. If you imagine you just it happened to me in the airport last month. Someone just collapsed and like started to fall into the wall. So you see the whole weight of the body just goes into the wall. Very efficient way to express weight. It's just not very controlled. But see, I'll try and get the sense that as you go into this one, it's just very. Okay, now there's just a point where the body goes. Now, that's it. Good, keep. Don't hit the laptop. Okay, now play with it in this one. It's the same thing, but okay, there's just the point where the body kind of wants to go. Now I want to control the fall, but I don't want to brace the body away from it. So it'll be something now like this. The body's kind of pulling out of it. Think about just. Now, if you're controlled with it and you're balanced, you can actually control the point where you do fall into it. And the key thing for us is actually controlling the descent into the ground. But think about that. The descent's controlled, but I'm not kind of resisting that kind of movement. And I just want to get the weight of the body into it. So think about that. Yeah, how much of the body weight can I kind of just commit into the step in this case? There we go. That's it. Good. Great. We'll do the last one. We'll just look at number 7. Really simple way. You can do this in a Zengo, or you can just do it individually. But think about just dropping into a 𝘥𝘢𝘦𝘴 and then into a 𝑔𝗬𝗞 on the left side. Again, you can go to the back, cut into the 𝘥𝘢𝘦𝘴, or you can just divide it, or you can just separate it. 𝘥𝘢𝘦𝘴, 𝑔𝗬𝗞𝗜. Yes, if you want to do it individually, or rotate into it straight to the back. Yeah. In terms of spiral work, especially for the 𝘭𝘪𝘠, this is the biggest spiral you've got in the 𝘭𝘪𝘠 in terms of going into the 𝑔𝗬𝗞𝗜. And just explore a little bit the joint system. Free. Elbows needs to go together. Hip, shoulders. Working really across the body structure. Right side to left, left side to right. Good. Good. Okay, then this one, exploring this one, it's a kind of specific sense in this case. So it's like really falling into the ground. Okay, so as you do this, what often happens with this is a fall forward, and then the body gets pulled this way. Think about in this case, you're in this position, and then think about really the body kind of falls down. It falls into this leg basically. So the body is going forward, but the feeling's like falling down into that leg. Now, because the structure's there in the leg, what it means is that it carries the body into that movement. It's not that the leg kind of collapses, but the feeling drops into the leg, and then there's a weight in the body that's able to be expressed out into the ski. That kind of sense of falling down and just releasing more and more of the weight into that leg through the step. And the weight of the ski is going to come from that weight being drained down into that leg. There. That's. Whoosh. Was. Whoosh. Was. Whoosh. Was. Oh, what? Good. And last week, just explore this freely. Also, bring in two things. One is the ability to go from the cut into the thrust, and the other is also play with mobilizing different directions. So we'll just do the last 2 minutes or so. Do this nice and slow, but again, it's the feeling of really letting the weight drop into the ground and trying to ride it into the movement now. And then just pick a new angle each time. Oh, a little bit of that movement again from the 𝘱𝘰𝘸𝘦𝘴. Just so you're like constantly falling down, the weight's constantly draining down, it's just draining all the time into at least one foot, sometimes both. But really constantly draining the weight into the strike, down to the feet. Whoosh. 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 Good. Yeah. Good. Whoosh. Great. Last 30 seconds up. This is like the best word's like pleating with the feet. So you're going to stay in motion all the time, but keep it slow. But there's no point now where the feet kind of fully ground. Just play with slowly moving from 𝘥𝘢𝘦𝘦 to ski. Try to feel that the feet are constantly now searching for the ground. And the weight's constantly trying to drain down more and more. It's very easy in this exercise for the weight to go up, 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 up. Keep it slow. Drain. And in this case, keep the feet really flexible, supple. Your knees, elbows staying, function together, hips, shoulders, hands, feet. Last 10 seconds or so. Good. Great, very good. We will stop right there. Right. どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。
Oh.